guys, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be reviewing the Acer Travelmate c110, and the model specifically is the c110 c111Ti. So let's get right into the specs. The Acer Travelmate c110 c111Ti comes standard with an Intel Pentium M ULV processor with a clock speed of 900 MHz. This laptop comes standard with 512 megabytes of DDR SD RAM. The motherboard supports up to 1 GB. It comes standard with no disk drive at all, but it does come with a 1024x768 10.4-inch XGA display. It comes with integrated graphics labeled Intel Extreme Graphics 2. The bloatware pre-installed on this computer includes Acer Launch Manager, Acer Notebook Manager, Acer System Recovery, Adobe Acrobat Reader, Cyberlink Power DVD XP 4.0, NTI CD Maker 6, and Norton Antivirus 2003 60-day trial. Let's start the review. Out of all the older Acers that I have, this one's definitely the smallest. If we take a look at it closer, you can see that this thing is definitely, it looks lightweight, and it is. This thing weighs almost nothing. It weighs less than a math textbook. And of course here we got the classic old Invalink on there. And the old Acer logo that was imprinted on the Acers at the time. And then some status lights that are on the top for some reason. And on the front we have the Travelmate logo here next to the IR sensor and the microphone. But now let's get into the ports. Here's the power jack. This is where the hard drive goes. So yeah, there's no ports on this side. We have a PCMCIA card reader, a audio in and audio out. We have IEEE 1394 digital and two USB 2.0s, and it closes like this to keep it from water damage and other things, or just it keeps them good. And of course here is our dock connector. This is our phone and Ethernet, and of course VGA. It's mandatory from laptops at the time. And let's set it down for a second, just a second. And the hinge is pretty cool. Just watch this. It opens right up. But there's another thing you can do. If you push this down and slide the hinge, the latch to the left, you see this tab popping up. Now let me show you what that does. You press these two things here, and now that the display is loose, you can swivel it around to present your work, or you can do this, reattach the supports, and all of a sudden you have yourself a tablet. That is right, this is considered a tablet. And now that it's in a tablet form factor, you can release the stylus, and there's your stylus. And this goes back into place very easily. And you can just press these two tabs yet again. Press down, and it comes back up. You swivel it back around. Reattach the two tabs. And now you have yourself a laptop again. Unlike a typical tablet, though, nowadays, the components are actually here on the keyboard assembly. So it's still technically a laptop, just with a rotating display and all. I already showed you the stylus. One of these buttons, I think, rotates the screen. I think it's this one. This one, I think, rotates the screen. There's a sticker there that shows you that you can swivel it around. This of course has an Intel Pentium M, so it doesn't sacrifice on performance, even though it's not exactly the quickest thing out there. You have a D-pad here for scrolling through your work or the internet if it still works on this thing. Left and right, and then a very, very small trackpad. Wow, that is small. Even the Dell 2-in-1 had a better trackpad than this thing. Now, if we connect the power, since the CMOS battery is dead, it'll automatically turn on. And there it is. That is your post screen. And now we're in the desktop, and unlike a normal version of Windows XP, font sizes are different and things are more zoomed in. Let me show you what I mean. Let's open up. Yeah, see how this takes up the whole screen? Yeah, that's what it is. We can do this. This is Acer Notebook Manager. Your system information, your boot options, your password, display device, smart card, even though it doesn't have one. Volume control, power scheme, launch manager, Infolink, and exit. Of course, you have a few special features for tablet PC. Let me figure out how to do this. This is Inkball. This is pretty cool. It's a little game you can use your stylus with. And yeah, if you hover your stylus around, the mouse follows. But when you press down, it actually makes contact. So of course you just draw lines. It's kind of reminiscent of a DS shovelware game from the early 2000s, I mean mid 2000s. Yeah, definitely like a DS shovelware game. There we go. Yeah, it's a really fun game. There we go. But you get the idea now. It's pretty easy to use. Now let's X out of that. It makes contact good. We can go to Paint now and mess around with Paint. And thanks to its responsive stylus, it's actually pretty easy to draw things on paint. Let me show you what I mean. You can make stuff like this, but oh, yeah, that happens on old paint. Because it's not actually touchscreen, it's pretty easy to because it's not touchscreen, it's pretty easy to rest your hand on and actually draw and actually try. So here's something you can try. You can actually try to be good, and you can draw some pretty cool stuff and actually write properly too. I mean, I'm pretty good at drawing because I did some comics before, but yeah, I'm not really trying here. But you get what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, it sucks. So yeah, everything's all zoomed in and stuff. And now let's try Sonic Roboblast 2. Actually, before I do that, alright, now let's try sticky notes. Yep, this is sticky notes, alright. You can even record your voice. Or you could have. Alright, yeah, let's put the stylus back. It's stored up there. Let's go back to sticky notes. Yeah, sticky notes. And it is not 1988, by the way. Alright, recording my voice. Recording my voice. Hello, 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 hello. Test, 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 test. Let's try it out. It appears the microphone hasn't worked for years. Alright, but anyway, let's try something more fun. I can put a Genesis emulator, like in my older video reviews, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this, because that's me touching the D-pad, by the way. But it's become kind of a staple to do this. Actually, Michael MJD took a better look at Tablet PC edition of Windows XP. Oh yeah, the frame rate's terrible. Frame skipping like hell. Oh. Hard drive failures. I'm gonna have to replace the hard drive with an SSD in this thing. I have the recovery disk, so it won't be too hard to reinstall Tablet PC Edition, even though it was never offered to consumers directly. Yeah, there's only one speaker on this thing, and it's a pretty cheap speaker too. I'm sure you could see where the speaker is with the little vent. That's enough of Sonic Roboblast 2, but I don't want to get to the conclusion just yet. First of all, here's a closer look at the speaker. Yeah, that's the only speaker, and here's my finger, so yeah, it's a pretty cheap-ass speaker, especially for the time. So, I need to cover some things before we get to the review. Alright, so before the conclusion, I need to go over some things. This is every Acer I own. This is an Acer Aspire 2000, an Acer Ferrari 3000, an Acer Aspire 9500, an Acer Aspire 5515, an Acer Aspire 6920G, an Acer Aspire 8930G, and my former main PC, an Acer Aspire 5 A515. And here is the Travelmate c110. Look at this thing. What a joke. And let's put this on top of each one of them. Alright, this is the Aspire 2000 with the Travelmate c110 on top. And yeah, it's small. Also very small. Very small. What a joke. An even bigger joke. What's the point anymore? It's tiny compared to it. Okay, so as you can see, this thing is definitely meant to be a hybrid. It's not meant to be too big or too small. It's supposed to be just the right size. And yeah, this one is definitely the smallest Acer I own.